You're live.
We are live. Welcome to Liquidation Motivation. Today we have a special guest. His name is Scott Kimsey. Sorry.
That's close.
And he's a new friend of ours. He came to the store and wanted to speak to Tom, but for some reason, Tom is not here yet. So we decided to just go on the air anyways and ask a bunch of questions to Scott and see what we can learn from Scott. He has a history of reselling as well, and we wanted to talk to you about and just learn from you. Can you let us know a little bit more about yourself?
Yes, we are out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, which is the Greensboro, Winston-Salem, High Point area, almost the center of the map. We've got excited about doing a bin store after finding Liquidation Motivation and watching all of these videos on YouTube. So I decided to hop in my car and drive down here. I was in Atlanta for a meeting yesterday and then came on down.
Did the meeting in Atlanta have anything to do with the bin store stuff or something else?
No, it's...
So you're a serial entrepreneur, a lot like Tom.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We do it. We've got a lot of irons in the fire, and we're always looking for something new to grow, to build and grow.
We always talk about having multiple sources of income here. And I think that that's a commendable thing for you. How did you find Liquidation Motivation? How did you stumble across it?
So there were several bin stores in our area, and I actually met with one, but that did not work out. But then I started looking at other ones, got in my car, drove around the Winston-Salem area within about 1 hour drive. And there were 2 or 3 other bin stores, and we started doing research on them. And of course, then I went to YouTube, and immediately when you type in liquidation, the Liquidation Motivation pops up, and then the bins. And I was just really impressed with you guys because you're an open book. I mean, to be blunt, you guys talk about everything, the pluses, the minuses, and I appreciate that honesty.
Thank you. Oh yeah, we take pride in sharing everything that we learn with our audience and with anybody who wants to come in. We don't feel like a competition is a threat. We find that it's a challenge. So when we see other people successful, then that means that we need to learn from them. And we also believe that if we aren't at their level, we're doing something wrong, and we want to see what we can do to do things better.
Yeah, and you guys have been amazing. I might be a little over, but I've watched 30 to 50 hours of your broadcast and your other. You have shorter broadcasts and then the hour-long ones.
Yes. We do the Stan. We do the shorter ones. We try to do them in between the live broadcasts, but I know Tom really wants us to just dish out as much information as possible and share the behind the scenes of what happens here at Resale America and eventually the bin stores as well. We do have plans on bringing a cameraman there if it's Stan or someone else, and showing the behind the scenes on what happens there, because I know that a lot of you, the audience, is looking to see that as well. I wanted to say hello to the 10 that have signed in. Please leave your comments below and your questions for Scott. He has interest in starting a bin store, and a lot of you have already started your bin stores. You have already showed interest in starting your own bin stores. So, or if you have any questions about business in particular, Scott is the guy to ask these questions. So please join in the conversation, because we are a community and we want to be able to share with one another, just like we just said.
Yes.
In your area, I asked you about your competition. You said there was one of them that flourished and then it died out. Could you tell me how different you would approach the bin store when you start yours?
Well, a couple of things from listening to you guys on this broadcast. We want to make sure that we're financially able to buy these and stay several weeks ahead, so that we do not run out, because that's, you're shut down for a week and you still got employees. But finding a good location, we're actually going to do a 90-day location during the Christmas holiday as a test, so that we can do tweaks and try to figure out what works best for us. I'm brand new in this. I mean, we're going to make mistakes. We don't want to lose money. The big concern is the tractor trailer trucks, what's coming in them.
Okay. What you explained when you said doing that test run and just doing it like a 90-day lease, is it very similar to those Halloween stores?
That's exactly what we came up with. And it's so funny you said that, because we've actually gone to the Halloween stores locations and asked if we could lease one of those for a pop-up, is what they're calling it, during the holiday, just to get ready.
See, I learned something new. Pop-up. I like that.
We got a comment here.
Oh, we have a comment. Harry Briggs. Good morning, Harry Briggs, and good morning to Daniel. Hey, Daniel, how you doing? He just pulled into a parking lot. More pallets needed. Yes. I know. He pulled into our parking lot here at Resale America. I hope that the rain is not going to stop you from buying pallets and your success. So keep going. Diana's there. The whole team is there waiting for you. Okay, guys? Appreciate that. And then we have, that's it right now.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, good morning to everyone. What else can you say on how you want to approach this new endeavor of yours?
So as far as the pop-up store, the first location, we're going through the holidays. We're not sure what's going to happen because of the supply chain that Stan and I were talking about. But there's going to be massive returns from Christmas.
Yeah.
There's going to be tons of returns. That's the good news. The bad news is, are they going to be able to move them? Is the supply chain going to be able to get them out and so that we can purchase them after Christmas? As soon as we get open, we're going to start focusing on a new location, a full-time location. As Stan has said, a destination type of location. We want to be near some major highways, so that you're not driving all out in the countryside in North Carolina. And there's I-4, which runs from North Carolina to California, runs right through Winston-Salem. So literally from Wrightsville Beach or Wilmington to, I think it's Bakersfield.
Is it our I-4 or is it
No, I-4D. 40, not I-4. But since I grew up in Orlando, it's funny you say that, because I get them twisted all the time, I-4 and I-40.
Yeah. You earlier mentioned that where you're located currently, not that you have a store yet, but with what you're looking at is very similar to how we have it set up. So we're located in Lakeland, which is 1 hour south of Orlando and 1 hour north of Tampa. And you're centrally located in that same.
We're about an hour and a half from Raleigh-Durham, hour and a half from Charlotte.
Okay.
So cool. Yeah, we're kind of right in the middle, and then Asheville, North Carolina is right on the Tennessee, and we're about an hour and 45 minutes from there.
So look at that. That's cool.
And then to make it even more, we're 4 hours from the beach. On I-4, we get on I-4 and just drive all the way till it ends.
Yes.
I-4D, not 4.
40. Yes. 40. Hello, Sandra. How you doing? Welcome to Liquidation Motivation. I wanted to ask you about the first quarter. You're saying about supplies coming in, but the way I see it, and remember, I'm new at this as well, because this is Tom's business. I do the eBay stuff. So it's a question to you. We get supplies overseas. It goes to Amazon. They sell their stuff. Amazon receives their returns, but it's still in the US. So the supply for you for bin stores shouldn't be an issue, I would assume.
I hope not.
Okay.
I hope not.
But I also love your strategy. You want to do it before this year. You want to start before this year ends. So this way you can take advantage of the first quarter.
I have two additional business partners. I was actually kind of against it. I wanted to find the location, and they both, and we're friends, but they both shot me down immediately and said, no, we're going for Christmas and the returns afterwards. So,
right. Well, then I commend them, not you. No, but think about this. You're going to capitalize on the returns that comes from the holidays for this first quarter of January, right?
Yes.
In January. But not only that, you're also going to capitalize when people submit their tax returns. They're gonna want to spend some money, and that's the best time to do it.
Yeah. So with the supply chain, if there are issues leading up to Christmas with all the tankers, ships off the coast, and people cannot buy Christmas presents, then the bin stores, if they're able to get the Amazon returns and other CVS and all the ones you guys talk about, then we should be sitting in a pretty good with inventory in our bins so that parents can give their kids and family members something for Christmas.
Yeah.
So that was the other side of this. Nobody knows what's going to happen with this shipping.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully, as you said, Amazon will have them, and after Christmas, their trucks are moving.
Yeah.
So
let me ask you this, and this is something I should know, but I kind of don't. When the people that come to bin stores, what is the true demographic? Is it like outside shoppers, or is it mostly resellers that's looking for merchandise to throw on eBay to sell? What would you say would be the, percentage wise, what kind of customers?
yeah, because I've been to a lot of bin stores. I spent several hours. I do know through one bin manager, they want to have a circumference of 1 hour drive to their location.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they consider their territory, but it's people from all walks of life. And we're going to actually accept cash also with credit cards, because I know you guys do not at your bin stores, but we see a lot of cash going through the bin stores I've visited and watched. So that's just something, I mean, that's something else, you have to track and watch.
Yeah.
And generally with credit cards, there's a lot less theft and everything else.
Yeah. So in regards to that, I'm not saying that what you're doing is wrong at all. I just want to say I'm just putting my Tom hat on and I'm going to share with you what his thought process is, and a lot of how I approach any systems that I create for any business that we have, like eBay store or any of our other businesses. I'm looking at what is the minimal viable product, the MVP, right? And focus on that. And then instead of adding all this stuff on my business plan, I'm going to focus on that minimal viable product. And if I have all this extra stuff, I'm going to start weeding away the things that I don't need, just so this way I can focus on that minimal viable product. Now, if I'm going to put on my Tom hat on, I'm going to say, you know what? I don't want to paint the walls. I don't want the bins to be painted. I'm going to eliminate all these other extra stuff so this way I can keep my costs as low as possible. And one of those things is doing everything credit card rather than cash.
And I agree with that, but we're hungry for business. So in the beginning, if we need to tweak it and do away with it, absolutely, we will. We want to offer a clean, safe with parking. So that's really what we've been looking at doing.
Here's another one of the things he does. He does not use shopping carts. He uses those bags.
I'm sorry,
IKEA?
IKEA bags. And I looked at them. They're easy to buy online. They're just what you guys said. They're like $1,
Mhm.
and you can resell them with what you're selling for $2
Exactly.
and walk right out the door. We do not want shopping carts.
Good. Cool. Well, you're doing something right. I'm just messing.
Another comment.
Oh, we get another comment. Daniel, he found a 1600 telescope in his
Wow.
pallet. Woo! Man,
Wow.
that's what I call a home run. Good job, Dan. Good job.
Go Braves.
So, just I want to speak real quick about what Dan just said. He says he found a $1,600 telescope in his pallet. Now, a lot of questions that come into liquidation motivation is, does Tom pick through his pallets? And I'm going to be honest. Yes, he picks through the pallets that he buys for himself, but not the ones that he sells to you. So the ones that Daniel picked, Tom does not pick through those. He'll buy a truckload, let's just say a half, take the half for the store. The processors will process it for liquidation store, bin store, liquidation store, bin store, and then or eBay. And then the other half of that truck is going to go on the floor here where Daniel picked up, and they're unpicked. They're not picked through. So I wanted to answer that question to a lot of you out there.
That's incredible. Congratulations.
Yes, we'll come see you out there. I'm sure you're still packing. I wanted to also speak back about business. You said that you're going to start the business and then you're going to start tweaking stuff. And I believe that is the one thing that holds a lot of people back from starting businesses, because they think they need all these components in order to start. But that's not true. In my opinion, you take your notebook and you just start creating boom, 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 bullet points. Here's what I need. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, this is this is not necessary, so let me scratch it off. Now I wound up with my minimal viable product, and now let's go ahead and start. Because there's going to be stuff that you can't even put on your bullet point list, because you don't know unless you started. So it's great that you're doing the 90-day process first, and then you can start making those tweaks along the way. It's called pivoting, right?
Yeah, it's a proof of concept is the term, but yes, pivoting, figuring out what works, what doesn't work. And I hate to admit this, I'm the type of person, I'll come up with this long list, I'll sit on the sideline, but fortunately I have two business partners that just push you to move to get it done. And it is, you got to jump in at some time. You cannot just sit and wish it's going to happen. Just find something small and jump in and get going.
Mm-hmm. I remember Tom responded to a watcher who was watching on our channel, and he was like, just jump in. And now I'm like, Tom, really? I'm in the back. I'm like, whoa. But then I thought about it, and it's like, it's what we just said. We should jump in first and start making those tweaks. Steven Sanchez, he's got a question or a comment. A comment? Cash is king. Oh, I love the emoji.
Employees stealing.
Employees stealing is an issue. It's having them consistently check and open the boxes that a customer is purchasing. Trust me, the customers will stuff them. What is your rebuttal to that, or how would you combat that?
I 100% agree with it, but we're going to have security cameras on. I want to see, we're going to have POS systems. That's my background. I want to see our employees touching that screen. Mm-hmm. There'll be a camera behind them and then cameras throughout down each bin. But I 100% agree with you that employee stealing is going to be an issue. And if we start missing money, then we're going to definitely pivot away from it, period.
Okay. I know that Stephen was also saying stuffing
Yeah, I
them.
saw that.
So this is what happens at the bin stores. So let's say that I'm buying this power
Surge
supply.
protector.
Thank you. Yeah. I put this in my IKEA bag and I go to the cash register, and then the employees will look inside just to double check to see if they didn't stuff, I don't know,
4 things.
my Dogecoin in there. and then what happens is that they'll be like, oh, I didn't see that. I didn't do that. It must have been there all along. So how would you combat something like that? Would you have everyone open up packages?
Yes, so you have just brought this to my attention. I have never even thought of that, but thank you for doing that on this broadcast. Now you have 4 items at $9 or whatever day it is, $9.75 to be determined when we open. Then we'll punch in every item.
Yeah.
Of course, they might start backpedaling at that time. No, I only want the one.
Yeah.
But that's fine. We're not going to accuse anybody of anything, but I'm glad you brought this up. So every package box must be looked at.
Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you, Stephen, for putting that.
Excellent.
To pointing that out. We talked about the 90-day. What was the wording that you used? The 90-day proof of concept.
Proof of concept.
Now, I wanted to share with the audience a book. Can you write this down, Stanley, in the comments so everyone can look this up? It's a book by Pat Flynn. It's an audio as well. It's called Will It Fly? By Pat Flynn. Let's see. No, Pat with a P. There you go. FLYNN. So this book, it talks a lot about this bullet point that I was referring to, and creating that minimal viable product first to see if you're going to fly. So the example is you put it together a paper airplane. Oh, is this going to work? Well, let's test it out. So in the book, I'm not going to spoil that for you, but my point is that in this book, it teaches people how to create that minimal viable product. And an example would be Sarah, who has been on the podcast before. She wants to start her own beauty salon once she graduates her cosmetology school. And so what I told her, what she wants is to have her own beauty salon. She wants to have all these products. She wants to do hair. She wants to do nails. She wants to do toes. She wants to do all these things. So I said, Sarah, that's great. I want you to have all those things. But can you start a business without having a storefront? Can you have a business without having employees and focus on the one thing that you want more? Is it the hair? Is it the nails? Is it the toenails? Is it the products? Which one do you want? What do you want your business to really, truly focus on? And she said hair. And that's the reason why she's doing this cosmetology school.
Good for her.
Yeah.
The biggest concern, everybody, the 800-pound elephant is money. How much money does it take? I don't want to lose money. Nobody wants to lose money, but you really got to jump in. You really do, because you're just going to sit on the sideline, and you want to be smart about what you're doing. And following this show and Esteban and Tom's, their advice is a way to be smart, because they're going to give you a lot of the screw ups or the missteps that need to be tweaked and turned.
Yeah.
But money's always the first thing that everybody, just like if you open up a hair salon, you've got to have a license, go through the school, but you've got to have money to buy all of those products, and they're not cheap.
No.
So
Definitely.
Maybe she could come to our bin store in North Carolina when we have all the
Yeah,
products.
So the other thing too is let's say that she couldn't do any of the stuff. Let's say that she couldn't take this cosmetology school. I said, look at where you are now and look at the things that's within arm's reach of her and what can she do. So I said, well, you work here at Resale America. You could start buying hair products
Absolutely.
and buy them super cheap.
Yep.
And just resell it. Now you got income coming in, even if it's little, but it can start from that. So this way you can either go to cosmetology school, which she's doing now, but if she couldn't do that, if she couldn't go immediately to cosmetology school, she could be reselling on the side so she can go to cosmetology school, or decide that she wants to start her own product line, and then she can go to cosmetology school, or
Yep.
hire other people and what I'm trying to say is within arm's reach. What do you think about that?
Yeah. So in the olden days, for a lot of you, I assume, are younger, sales reps would fill their car full of their product, and in this instance, go to every hair salon in the area, walk in with your product and say, here it is. How many would you like to buy? And as long as Resale America has hair products coming in, she's got a nice chain supply of the product.
Yeah.
So, and she can go out there and knock on doors and have a little business card or a little flyer, maybe start her on YouTube with hair products.
That's a good idea.
And that's the modern way. But when I started in sales 30 years ago, I literally was in a car with a pitch kit and walking in and meeting. And I love meeting people in person.
Yeah.
I hate the phone.
Yeah.
Hate it.
Do you? Why?
Oh, I just hate it.
Tell me why.
Rejection over the phone. You're going to, because people are fed up with phone calls. I'll generally take a sales rep phone call and tell them I'm a sales rep. Let me hear your pitch.
Mm-hmm.
But
do you feel like with a person to person, it shows more initiative? It shows.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, you're there. And you're dressed well. You're not in, a basement somewhere making phone calls.
Yeah.
So yes, but that's what she should do. You made an excellent point.
Okay.
Within arm's distance here in Lakeland, I know Lakeland's a fairly large population. So,
Yeah.
But going to school also will help her.
Definitely. She's overwhelmed with a lot on her plate right now. She's a mom.
Right.
She's got a job here,
Right.
and she's going to school. But I believe she's doing the right thing, because this will set her up for the future for herself.
Yeah, always try to better yourself through an education, school, and learning, because there's going to be constant change, much more now than 30 years ago when there was a slower pace because we didn't have the internet.
Yeah.
And everything that's going on.
Yeah. Well, Scott, I think it's the end of our podcast and our show. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for inviting me to be on. It was a big surprise
Yeah.
to me, but I really appreciate.
We just kind of pulled them out from the floor and it was like, hey, come on, let's do this.
I really appreciate and sincerely what you guys are doing in the liquidation, the bin area, by discussing everything that's going on. And I've just learned, opening these boxes, never thought about that.
Yeah.
Never.
I learned pop-up.
Right. Well,
So-
that's, yeah.
But I didn't know about that. So I knew about the Halloween, so I didn't know it was called a pop-up. But see, when you meet with other people and you come up with these keywords, now I can type pop-up on the computer and do this research based on the keywords.
So that's one thing we looked at immediately were the pop-up stores, and the Halloween store in my area at malls.
Mm-hmm.
We immediately went to them because Halloween's over.
Yeah.
And guess what? Christmas is here and they're closing. And we started talking to the mall management about possibly doing a 90-day
Yeah.
lease, month to month or 90 days minimum.
It's cool. So cool. So how do you feel about, is this your first time ever being interviewed on camera?
No, but
No?
it's my first, I've done a 1 minute interview,
Okay.
not a 30
Yeah.
minutes. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Mike said he's late as usual.
Oh, Mike says, hey guys, oh, this is 5x5?
Yes, that's why.
Okay. They pull in guests and it's awesome. Yes.
Pulled him in that one time.
Yeah, we did. We pulled Mike in here.
And I've seen Mike on here.
Yeah. I wonder if Mike is outside the doors today. So we'll see if we'll go say hi to Mike if he's out there, and then we'll go say hi to Daniel. Now I want to say, now go out there and make some money.
And today we bought a $50,000 Target Electronics load. Canon EOS Rebel T7. Look at this. GoPro 8, Galaxy S20, Beats Studio 3, Apple AirPods. Look at this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Samsung Galaxy Buds. Apple Watch. Look at that one. Rose gold. Everybody wants rose gold. 6 terabyte. I think it's a Tab A. A Tab A. Power Beats Pro. 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 I don't even know.